What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So today I want to talk about a buff that was very long overdue, which is the Kilo bolt action. So for the first time in a very long time, we finally get to talk about a Kilo that is actually the marksman instead of the assault rifle. And for a while I've been wanting to talk about the Kilo bolt action because I feel like it's been one of the most neglected marksman rifles ever since the sniper overhaul. So as you guys remember, around season 13, that's when snipers were being overused because of their extremely fast ADS speed. Marksman rifles, including the SPR and the Kilo bolt action, were both very powerful marksman rifles at the time. They were extremely fast, but when the overhaul came by, it kind of wiped them out of existence. And when I mean wipe them, I mainly mean just the Kilo bolt action. The SPR, even today, is still going very strong. Even some time after the SPR did come out, I would say that the Kilo was still the better marksman rifle, and that was because at the time the SPR was still a hit marker machine, even if you used the .300 rounds. But there was less downsides for the stopping power mag on the Kilo, making it like much faster and a much better choice compared to the SPR. But when the massive update came in, I would say that the Kilo bolt action was probably hit the worst. And I say that because the ADS time was so slow to the point where I would say it was slower than all of the sniper rifles. They did make some buffs over time within like few seasons past where they made it a little bit quicker, but it was never really enough to compete against an SPR or even the MK2 or just really any sniper in general. It wasn't until yesterday where they finally updated the Kilo to make it a lot faster. So using it with or without stopping power rounds, it's much faster than it was before, and I would say it competes against the SPR in a decent way. So previously the Kilo was kind of used, at least from my perspective, it was used to be more of a camper weapon. And I would notice that a lot of people that use the Kilo would typically just use either the fast reload or they would just use the thermite rounds, depending on their playstyle. However, most of the time it was just mainly camping, so I would just see a lot of the thermite rounds. And it's kind of weird because the thermite rounds have a more serious penalty compared to the stopping power rounds. But again, why were people going to use the stopping power if it had such a significant downside? I think what made the Kilo very slow was the fact that there aren't really enough speed attachments for it. So the one thing I felt like kind of held it back a lot was the fact that there was no light barrel for the Kilo. It was either the extended ranger or marksman barrel for it. I think if we were able to have like one attachment, even if it was a signature attachment that made the gun a lot faster in terms of barrel speed, I would definitely think that there would be no problem with this gun at all. But unfortunately that wasn't the case. I think this is actually the only marksman rifle that doesn't have some sort of light barrel to help you out. So it was kind of an unfortunate situation for this one, but it just amazed me that it took them this long to adjust the speed to make it a little bit faster so it can compete against other marksman rifles. So we kind of had to just deal with using either the MK2 or the SPR for the time being. And it was a very long time being, to be honest, because again, we've been kind of like dealing with the slowness of the Kilo for about a year and a half or more. So it was truly a hopeless situation for the Kilo. But they did also improve the reload speed for it, so now it reloads a lot quicker. So if you were to use like fast reload with sleight of hand, dude, that thing was going to be an absolute beast. As for stopping power, it kind of normalizes the speed of the gun, so it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like using a pre-patched version of the Kilo with fast reload, using the stopping power right now. So that's kind of like where the speed is. I mean, it's just around the same time to ADS compared to like the SPR or maybe the MK2. Maybe it's a little slower still, but given that the one-shot kill area with stopping power is a lot more generous, I could understand why it is the way it is. The weird thing is that with the SPR and its .500 rounds for multiplayer, it doesn't really provide a major downside. Maybe a reload speed downside and a slight movement speed downside, but for the most part, without specific magazine, it doesn't really have any sort of downsides for it. But again, I mean, if they were to lower the downsides for the stopping power, that would be great. But at the same time, I'm not really sure if that would be a balance problem. So based on how it is right now, I could live with it. It's a lot better than it was before, and I would consider trying using fast reload to, I guess, kind of balance things out, or have a little bit more speed, but That's like if you're really daring. I mean, I would recommend putting some sort of attachment that increases the range or something. The class setup that I have for you is the Stopping Power build. It's OWC Light Suppressor with YKM Combat Stock, OWC Laser Tactical with Stopping Power, and the Stippled Grip Tape. But anyways, that's my take on the whole situation with the Kilo buff. Honestly, I'm kind of enjoying using it. It's been a very long time. I used to love using this marksman rifle until that whole overhaul happened and it became extremely slow. But it's nice that they're kind of bringing up the speed to where the current marksman rifles are, at least when it comes to the, the single bolt action or the lever action marksman rifles. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD mode content. I'll see you guys next time.